Okay, so today our drawing skill that we're going to focus on is called negative shape drawing. So instead of worrying about actually drawing the object, we're worrying about drawing the area around the object. So like on your worksheet, you guys have the chair to get started. We're not even going to think about the chair, because if we do, that left side of our brain says, hey, I know how to draw a chair, and it gives us a symbol and it doesn't look right and we get unsatisfied with our drawings. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to start to draw the area around the chair. Again, this is something totally new, and it's going to take us a little bit of time and practice in order to get it all where we want it to be. So since it is our first time ever doing negative shape drawings, I'm going to ask that you guys go ahead and make a grid over the top of this drawing. So I went ahead and made a grid with a 1/2 inch marks. So you can see here I measured out a 1/2 inch up at the top, I measured out a 1/2 inch at the bottom, and I connected them all the way across both papers, because this is going to be the same drawing over here that I have over here, only it's going to just be the negative shape drawing. So go ahead and mark out your grid. When you're done with that, we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so I'm going to start drawing my negative shapes. Now, on my first 2 boxes, I've colored them solid red because they're just the negative shape. There's no information from the chair in those boxes. On the other side, I've done the same thing. When I come to my 3rd box, there's this little bit of the chair in that box. I don't want to think about drawing the chair, but what I want to think about is drawing this space that I'm outlining. That's my negative space. And so that's going to be what I color on the other side. So I come over here and I have that little tiny curve. I have a straight line. I have straight across and down and over. And then I can color that all the way in. And there's my negative shape, because again, I'm drawing that negative shape part. When I come to the next one, I have a bigger curve, straight line, straight across, color that in. So I'd have where those connect, bigger curve, straight line, and where that goes across. I also notice in this box here that I have a little tiny triangle down here on the bottom. So I'd have to come in here and I have to leave a little tiny triangle down on the bottom. I didn't draw any part of the chair, I'm just drawing that negative area. So I go to the next box, again another curve, straight line, come across, there's my space. So I come over here, I have my curve, straight line, across, and I color it in. Down on the bottom here, then I have this little shape right here. So I come over here and I have that little shape right there. And then I have another shape right here. Now you'll notice that I'm not really giving those shapes names because I don't want them to be identified as a certain shape. If I do, they become symbols instead of just shapes. So I'm going to keep going all the way across this top row. Okay, so I actually went a little farther than just getting started on the second row. I actually did the entire second row. But you can see as I was going along, I just filled in all of those negative spaces with my red colored pencil, checked for those shapes, and then came over here and drew those same shapes on the other side. Now, while you're drawing these shapes, you have to think about how they connect to the other pieces. So, for example, if I'm back over here and I'm drawing how this curve and then the outline of the box, I realize that that curve connects to the curve on the chair. So I can't just make it come all crazy over here. I have to think about how that curve comes down, but I still have to make sure that I'm drawing that shape as it is in this box, and then the edges of the chair. So same thing, when I get to the next box, I have the inside curve, but it's still just a curve. I have this straight line, but it's connected to this pole that's up above. So there's my shape, my negative shape. So I think about how that curves and comes to the inside of that line, and how this one connects with that pole there. So then I'd come back in here and I still have this little triangle. So I'd come over here and I'd still have that little triangle. And again, you just keep going, just drawing that background space, just that negative area. We're not thinking about the chair, but just that negative shape. Now, carefully keep working, and when you're all done, you can compare your drawing of your chair to mine that's up on the board.